Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Traders Point High School as we bring you boys basketball on a Friday night. Traders Point coming into this one this evening at 3-0 on the season. They'll be hosting North Vermillion, still looking for their first win. They are at 0-4 in this early portion of the high school season. Tonight's game brought to you in part by IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences. Begin your journey today. Also, the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Burtner Electric, serving greater Indianapolis and the surrounding counties. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation, we do it all. And Reynolds Farm Equipment, serving our customers and the community since 1955. Great to have you with us, Troy Derengowski, John Cupo, and we have, I hope, a good game here this evening. I know the records, John, tell us that they're kind of both heading in opposite directions, but that's why we play the game. We just don't know yet.
Well, Troy, I mean, you're looking at the second week of December, and these teams haven't played a lot of basketball. A lot of teams are on their 8th, 9th game. Traders Point just playing their 4th tonight, North Vermillion in their 5th. So it's going to be interesting to see which team comes out. Will Traders Point be able to play the good basketball to keep undefeated, or will North Vermillion get that very important first win of the season?
Of course, the big news might be tonight for North Vermillion. Will they have their leading scorer? And all the indications are that we may not see him tonight.
Yeah, Jerome White, game 2, had a high ankle sprain, and kind of everybody that's been in sports knows how those will treat you.
Yeah.
14.5 points per game. He's the only guy in double digits for the Falcons. So where's the scoring going to come from? Coach Cody Wright, he loves his height. He loves his height on this Falcons team. And are they going to be able to pound it down low, get some easy buckets against the rim and on the block? So it'll be very interesting to see how they handle it if Jerome White does not touch the floor this evening.
Well, North Vermillion, they are 0-4, and the one early indication whether he plays or not is they still have a hard time scoring, and the numbers just indicate early they do not shoot well right now. They've got to find something there, but offensively, finding points has not been easy.
Yeah, only putting up about 43 points a game, Troy. I was able to talk to Coach Cody Wright, and he was very confident that his team could easily be 3-1 right now. Just a couple possessions here and there that didn't go in their favor, but that seems to be the tune with every coach, is that we could have had this, we could have had this here, but now it's just putting that game plan on the floor, executing those plays, putting the ball in the bucket, and just not having those breakdowns during the course of the game.
You know, John, when I was coaching, I used coulda, if we shoulda, all those things I used a lot. It didn't seem to work for me. Is there some other adjective or something I should have used back then? Or
well, it's execution. I mean, I think that's the big word.
Oh, you mean they wanted to execute me?
No, not in that sense, Troy. We know you did a heck of a job over there.
Let's talk more about North Vermillion. We mentioned when you look at some of the shooting numbers this year, they shot 31% against Westville, Illinois. They shot only 29% against North Central. They were at 34% against Park Heritage, and then just 36% against Riverton Park. Now, overall, those are the numbers, but they did shoot a little bit better from three in a couple of those games, but shooting is another issue. Got to find a way to put some points in the basket, but they're going to have to hit some baskets as well. Yeah,
and it's really the balance of the team that kind of throws you off with North Vermillion. You really don't know who you can turn to in order to find those points. You know, Landon Wesh, he handles the ball a lot, but he's really not considered a scorer. He doesn't put that many balls in the basket. He's more of a facilitator up at the top of the key. Tegan Dowers, he averages 9, but he doesn't do it all the time. You know, you say, well, he's averaging 9, so he doesn't do it all the time, but he doesn't. He got a big game, and that was able to put his average up top. So, again, you have two guys. You have Owen Edwards. He's 6'4". He's a big body. He's only a sophomore, so he's a little green down there on the block. But toss the ball into him. See what he can do. See if he can motor around, use the foot skills, work around the block, work around the basket. See if he can draw some fouls. That was one thing, Troy, that I really noticed about these North Vermillion Falcons. They don't get to the line. They only shot 4 free throws in their previous game against Riverton Point. And that's just not going to get it done. Attack the lane, drive to the hole, force the issue, get some easy buckets, or if you're not, get fouled, go to the line.
Yeah, and you mentioned, too, with Dowers, he's only a freshman. You look at Dawson, a sophomore, Edwards, a sophomore, so they're still relatively young.
Yeah, and again, Cody Wright, he's got some good pieces there. There's just two seniors, Noah Scott and Atticus Blank, but that youth just has to gel. They have to put it together. And right now it's difficult because their top underclassman, Jerome White, is not out there to help lead this team.
Well, this Traders Point team, they're off to a good start. They're 3-0, and they've got some guys back from a year ago, 4 guys in double figures. Tell you what, things are going well right now.
And Sean Busick loves that about his team. It's the depth. It's the comment. You just mentioned it. The 4 guys averaging double digits on this point, and he's got leaders out there too. The one guy that really stands out to me, fantastic young student athlete, Cooper Simmons Little, number 2. He's a 6'2 senior, but Troy, I think you saw him on the football field quite a few times this year. Just had a phenomenal season for Sam Carnes this year. 37 TDs in the air. So, we know he can get it done throwing the ball. He likes to hoist it up there. So, good leadership on there again, but still a young team. But a little bit more rounded, a deeper bench, a few more players there for Coach Busick there for the Knights. So it's going to be interesting. You never know, but that's why you play the game on Friday night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, here's how they got here. They beat Providence Cristo Rey 65-52. They knocked off Indiana Def 57-21. In that game, by the way, Indiana Def did not score in double digits in any one of the 4 quarters. So defensively, they really shut down Indiana Def, and then they beat Columbus Christian on the road by 30. Now, a lot of us are going to look at that and go, maybe that schedule was not very difficult, but it's still 3 wins, no doubt about it.
And it's a scoring margin. I mean, if you're putting up 63 a game and you're only giving up 37, everybody say, well, you're not playing hard teams. Well, they beat them the way they should have beat them then. Big margins. Scoring the points that they needed to score and holding these teams to low shooting percentages and low amounts of points. So, granted, the schedule hasn't been great, but they played these teams exactly how they should have.
We'll take a timeout. Starting lineups coming up in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at Reynolds Farm Equipment.
Back once again here at Traders Point. It's North Vermillion and Traders Point. We're just moments away. Let's go to our public address announcer for the starting lineups.
Number 5, Landon Weiss. Number 11, Tegan Dowers. Number 30, Noah Scott. Number 40, Owen Edwards. And number 42, Atticus Blank.
Well, we got the news we were looking for, and John, as you mentioned earlier, it is Jerome White not, at least we know he's not in the starting lineup. He would be if he was going to play, he'd be there, so that's a huge loss.
Yeah, Troy, you and I have never been more anticipating a starting lineup since we began here with IndianaSRN. Yeah, that's a tough loss. Jerome White, 14.5 a game. He's quarterback on a football team. 1,000 yards on the air, 1,000 yards on the ground, just a guy that does everything. Hopefully he's on that bench and he can will this team on some leadership coming from the sidelines this evening.
The other big question is I'm going to be interested to see how you pick out these dark numbers on dark uniforms. That's really the key for you to know.
Well, you know they think about us when they choose these color combinations. They understand what we're here, what we're trying to do.
Oh, you got that right. Tip was knocked out of bounds, and so it'll go to North Vermillion. They'll have the basketball to start this one here this evening. Knights, again, are looking to go to 4-0 on the year, and we'll keep an eye on this North Vermillion team. How will they manage to score here tonight? Now, I would imagine, John, again, you're not too surprised by the opening of the zone here because of the way that North Vermillion is struggling shooting.
Exactly, and you have, again, you can see the two big guys on the block there, Owen Edwards and Atticus Blank. I think, according to Cody Wright, that's where they're going to have to go this evening to get some generation of points. Again, not very active going to the rim. So where's it going to come? Are they going to start shooting threes? Are they going to have a perimeter game? I'm anxious to see how this Falcons team is going to generate points this evening.
You know, I'm also curious, John, if from a standpoint you want to be patient on offense, the best maybe defense you have is to hold on to the basketball as much as you can too.
And that's what they're doing now. It's just a lot of switching. There's a skip pass, and
there's your first three of the ball game missed by Dowers. So after all of that, almost a minute in, they get one shot and that's it.
And I think the Knights are going to be perfectly happy with having that happen based on what you said, Troy, and the low shooting percentage. They'll settle for that all night.
Well, they're going to open up, speaking of North Vermillion, in a zone as well, so we'll see how this will work out. And deservedly so from a standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, you don't have much of a bench right now. You got to keep people out of foul trouble. As that three's off the glass, as Drew Busick gets the first points of the ball game.
Just simple rotation. No one's out there to get it. You know, not the prettiest of three-point shots, but if it goes in, it goes in for three, no matter how to look at it. So Traders Point puts first points on the board.
I know a lot of coaches aren't comfortable sometimes playing that man-to-man, but when you're down a player like Jerome White and at the other end, there's your first bucket the other way, one of the big guys.
That's right, the big guy to big guy, Owen Edwards, Atticus Blank.
So they get on the board. Just underway. We're about 2 minutes into this contest, and here's a three from the top. That's going to be good as Amari Justice, averaging 12 per game, gets a three.
Justice just eyed him up, took one step, and that was pure from three.
Now, I like this, too, that you're going to press, because I think your quickness certainly is going to be a huge key here tonight. As you see the drive at the other end, basket good this time, Owen Edwards.
Owen Edwards, 8.5 per contest. He's been active early.
Tell you what, he had good foot quickness there, huh? Kind of remind me of Keith Myers in his younger days, the quickness.
The world wasn't ready for Keith Myers as a basketball player. The legend grows.
You got that right. Good look there at Busick, who hit that three just about from that area moments ago. They're going to try to work it and the kick out. Here's another three on the way, and nothing but net for Amari Justice. 3 shots, 3 threes.
2 solid strokes from Justice. Just steps into it, nothing but nylon.
So the Traders point team from a three-point standpoint shooting at 33%, so they have been able to hit it consistently so far.
And that's right where Justice is at, too, at 33%.
Got our first foul of the ball game. Went to the high post, and looks like they got number 14, which is T.J. Robinson, gets his first. In the corner, 3 the other way. North Vermillion unable to get points there. Back the other way in transition. Wisely the kick out. And nice pass underneath. Layup good by Westerfield.
That was a good look. Just Gus Westerfield just quietly just skirting towards the rim, able to finish it off for 2 off the glass.
You know, one thing that if I'm Traders Point, I want to get out and run because Edwards and Blank, nothing against them, but they're big fellas, and you could probably tire them out before the end of the night. So again, North Vermillion back in the half court. They'll be real careful throwing it out front, nearly over and back, as good defense here by Traders Point. They're looking underneath. In fact, looked like Edwards wanted the basketball. The drive basket, good.
That was a nice take. Landon Weish just able to drive the baseline there, and a little one-hand floater put it in for two. It was good drive there.
Weish with his first two. 5-point lead. We will see Cody Tryon come in a couple of moments here for North Vermillion. Here's another three from the top. No good on the shot by Justice. And he'll stay at 5. You can hear the coach for North Vermillion talk about swinging and wanting to. One thing you got to do is move that defense back and forth. But here's a three from the top of the key. In and out is Dowers can't get it to go. The offensive rebound, no. And then a turnover by Traders Point. Quick shot in the lane is missed by Edwards, and it goes out of bounds. It'll now go to Traders Point.
Well, it's one thing, Troy, is that North Vermillion does have the size and the height advantage here, but as you can see on the defensive effort for the Falcons is that they're getting nothing underneath. Those two big bodies are kind of restricting that paint area. That's how they get these outside shots, but they're big fellas. They're not moving their feet a lot in the post on the offensive end, so a lot of outside shots that aren't falling right now for the Falcons.
A lot of space eaters, that's for sure. Shot from the baseline is off the mark as Westerfield couldn't get that one to fall. And they're going to get Busick for the foul on the rebound, and that'll be his first. Well, give North Vermillion credit. Again, without Jerome White in their lineup, hanging right in there. Under 2.5 to go in the opening period of play. And there is a turnover. I was about ready to mention to you my last two games ago, hey, we had 40 combined. The last game had 35. So we need to keep it a little lower this time, John. Anything around 30 kind of makes not as much fun of a game.
It's disciplined basketball. It's one of the things that you harp on and practice every day. It's a nice look down low.
Westerfield now has 4. Well, that's just good passing right there. So now 7-point lead. North Vermillion, from a scoring standpoint, as we documented earlier, really struggling as that shot's missed by Dowers. And we'll head back the other way. This is what Traders Point would love to do, get up and down the floor. Here's a three from the left wing, and guess who got another one? Amari Justice, his third three-pointer. North Vermillion calls the timeout. And we will take a timeout as well. Traders leads it by 10.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Ten-point lead. Traders going on a little run here. Amari Justice with 9 points to lead all scorers, and I don't think there's a place on the floor he hasn't found that he likes.
No, he's definitely a shooter. He likes to hoist it up, and he's been pure on all 3 of his shots right now.
That pass intended underneath. They try to go to the big fellow there, Owen Edwards, and that'll be the second turnover now for North Vermillion. We talked during the break a little bit that if you are Traders Point, you'd love to get up and down the floor and run a lot, but they've done that play really nice a couple of times.
That's Westerfield again, and he's just good without moving with the basketball, just able to find an open spot, and he's getting open and just easy buckets at the rim.
6 points now for Westerfield, and there's the third turnover and attacking the rim, and the bucket good by Busick. He has 5.
Busick read that passing lane perfectly. He's able to get the steal now, full court pressure.
Weish is going to come back in. They need another ball handler.
And Troy, you make a very valid point with the short roster of North Vermillion. It's going to be tough to keep these subs and these legs fresh.
Look at this ball movement right here. Just really a touch pass there. Give the assist, a nice assist to Westerfield. Well, this was close. It was 13-7, and now you have run off 7 straight. You see right there where Amari Justice looking to the bench. Will they play for one? And it appears they will. But every time I say that, somebody shoots early, so I'll hold on for a moment. Yeah, usually you hear the coach say about 10, they start making their move. Here's Justice, another 3 off the back of the iron. The offensive rebound, the drive inside, offensive foul on T.J. Robinson. He just picked up number 2. All right, I got to ask you, John, and I'm an old school guy. Get the rebound, wide drive in. Why don't you pull back up and shoot it?
That's true, and it's definitely a teaching moment for a lot of these young kids, Troy, is that what we've noticed, and what I noticed, I'm sure you noticed too, and also being a coach as well, a lot of these kids like to bring the ball down.
Yeah.
Keep that ball above your head. Go straight up to the rim with it. You're more than likely to get fouled, but when you bring the ball down, you run the risk of a turnover, getting it swiped away, anything like that. So I'd like to see more of these kids just, when they get the rebound, stay up strong, go straight back up, or like you said, kick it out, easy pass.
Traders leads it by 14.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Hey, tonight's game brought to you in part by Industrial Sales Associates. They've been an electromechanical component manufacturer's representative for Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, and Eastern Tennessee for years. They say good luck to all the teams this sports season. For more information, give them a call at 317-546-1900. I guess when you look back at this now, John, really no big surprise what we have seen in that opening quarter.
No, and right now it's just really the depth. They're really running North Vermillion just a little weary. The one advantage, though, that the Falcons do have, they do have 2 guys out there, Noah Scott and Landon Weish, who are part of the cross-country team, also coached by Coach Cody Wright. So they'll probably be out there up until next Wednesday running around. But this Amari Justice is just getting it done on all sorts of part of the floor now be able to get to the rim.
Yeah, that's now 11 for Justice, and every time they build on this lead, it is the largest lead of the game. Hey, the big fella stepping outside. He missed it short, but an offensive rebound put back good.
That was a good box out.
Looked like Weish again, right?
I think that was Tegan Dowers who was able to settle in there and had a nice box out, be able to put it right up. But see what he did, Troy? He had his hands up, kept the ball up, was able to knock it off the glass for 2.
Back to a 14-point lead. By the way, that was Atticus Blank who shot that ball at the other end, and you got to love the name Atticus. Got a blocking foul, and if it's Atticus, they only got him because he was working that baseline. They got him. So Atticus picks up his first. Watch this drive here by Justice.
Just too easy. Able to bank it in with the right hand.
Yeah, they're going to have to cut that off quickly. There's another nice drive basket, good by Cooper Simmons Little. That's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, Simmons Little just kind of put him in the blender right there. Was able to go opposite side of the baseline and put it in with the right hand.
By the way, Cooper Simmons Little has a kind of a little mullet going. You got to love the hair. I will call him the rest of the night. Here's a three on the way. That's no good. And a foul. Nope, they're going to say that hit the guide wire up above the basket, so it'll go over to Traders Point.
You'll see it right here, Troy. Just kind of split the defense there. It almost looked like he was ready to throw that one down. He was going up hard for that one.
I think one of those big bodies stopped him there. 24-8 your score is we're about 2 minutes into period number 2, and right now it's all Traders Point. Skip past Justice near side. Boy, they set that screen, found Justice wide open, left it short, and it went off of the fingertips of Nick Dearman, who's a 6-foot sophomore. He's in the game now for Traders Point.
Dearman, one of many dual sport athletes on this Traders Point team, also played for Sam Carnes, a cornerback.
Press put on again here by Traders Point. Bowers able to get it across the timeline. Drive and a block. Cooper Simmons Little getting the block. Drive in the lane. Simmons Little missed this one. It goes out of bounds. We'll stay right here.
Yeah, there's too many blue jerseys in the paint there for Simmons Little to collect on that one. Knocked that out of bounds. Still possession of the Knights.
I believe that Atticus Blank is out. So that leaves them just now with Owen Edwards, the sophomore, in the lineup. Nice pass.
Nice look from Jude Busick. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Troy, not really a scorer, but much more of a facilitator. He's had some nice assists so far in this first half.
Ball stolen away. And the basket and the foul. Tell you what, Amari Justice, he's going to have a heck of a ball game if he keeps this up.
Yeah, Tegan Dowers, here's that look. Just crisp, clean pass right there. Good awareness from Busick. But on that foul, Troy, it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Justice, he had the lane. He was right there. And I think that was more of a frustration foul than anything. He wasn't going to stop that from going in.
Free throw is short. Edwards with a rebound. So far, North Vermillion in the first 3 minutes, only 2 points. Here's a shot on the way, and that's going to be off the mark, but the big fellow gets an offensive rebound, missed the second as Edwards couldn't get it to go, and there is Simmons Little.
And that's a transition we've been talking about, Troy, is that they did get the offensive rebound, but after that second miss, just up the floor, 2 dribbles, off the glass for an easy 2.
Yeah, because you're really putting North Vermillion at a huge disadvantage because of some of the size they have with the big guys, but they're going to call the foul there on Justice. And to be fair, it's a little bit hard to ask those guys to sprint the entirety of the floor and try to get back on defense when you're also asking them to offensive rebound.
Yeah, Owen Edwards, he's played the whole first half. We haven't seen him come out yet.
Coming up on the halfway point.
And this is where you can see it right here, Troy, is that they are very unorganized. You hear the plays getting called out, but just nobody moving in the blue jerseys.
That was Cooper Simmons Little on that last basket there for Traders Point. Yeah, you're exactly right. They're kind of getting to the point. And again, they might be a little bit tired too, but at this stage, They're having a hard time just finding a good shot up until that one right there by Dowers. Or is that Weish? They're going to say
that
was
Weish. And that's really all they're going to get is that they've shot more threes than I think they've had 2-point buckets. And then it's answered right there. Colton Pollard.
Yeah, he's in the ball
comes
game.
In the ball game. It lands his first 3-point shot of the evening.
He's only a sophomore. Lead at 22. Near steal there by Justice. That was way hard off the glass. Fast break the other way, and a blocking foul. That'll send Simmons Little to the line. See the official right in front of us. That'll be Dowers picking up his second.
We talked about on the onset, Troy, is that Cooper Simmons Little, senior, team leader, had a heck of a season for football this year. Averages about 12 a night.
There is Blank back in the lineup. You see Weish leaving the ball game.
Simmons Little, there's one knock in his shooting. It is at the free throw line, only 35%.
Second one is good, so he'll get 1 of 2. I always wonder why that is. If you can be a good three-point shooter, why can't you be a good free throw shooter?
It's just all muscle movement, you know. That same motion that you're always going to the free throw line. A lot of guys don't do that. You know, one thing I've always marveled at, you think it's Shaquille O'Neal, is how many points he just had on his own. If he just shot a measly 65% from the line, how many points would he have? And it's such a crucial part of the game that I wish young players would look at more as being important. You know, it's not all about what you're doing in the layup line before the game. It's not razzle-dazzle. It's not how many threes you can hit. Perimeter and free throw line are two of the most important aspects that I think these young athletes have to learn more about heading in if they have a future in basketball.
You know, always talk about the how valuable that time is. You speak of warm-ups. There's a 3 on the way. Big guy underneath gets the rebound. That's going to be Atticus Blank. He has 4.
Atticus Blank coming back in the ball game and already good box out. It's hard to move him around down there and put it in for 2.
Just think of all the time you have before a game to get some work in. A lot of players don't take advantage of that. That shot's good on the baseline by Busick. He has 7. But they always wear headphones now. You notice that?
Yeah. It's everybody's got their own earbuds, whether it's Beats by Dre or Ray J's got them now, and Samsung, Apple, whatever you have.
They've got them. That is the 6th turnover now by North Vermillion. See, North Vermillion stays in that 2-3 zone. Here is Busick again. Missed it, but there is Simmons Little with the offensive rebound. That did not go all the way to the backside, and there's another bucket underneath.
Once again, that's Westerfield again moving without the basketball, able to find him.
I know a lot of the players kind of stopped right there, but the ball rolled off this side, didn't roll off the backside, so that's why it stayed in play. 25-point lead now, under 2 minutes remaining here in the second. When they nearly threw that one away in the corner, that was Owen Edwards. The kick out here is Dowers, hits the 3. That was a downtown 3.
Dowers is not afraid to shoot. He shoots 40% coming into this one from 3, and he's got a couple here this evening, so they just need stops.
By the way, Amari Justice now gets it back, shoots and misses. I know he has 4 points in the quarter, but he had 3 threes in the opening period of play. Baseline shot, no good. So we're coming up on 60 seconds remaining. And a traveling call. That is the 4th turnover now by Traders Point.
Yeah, the one thing that Coach Busick wants to look at right now, you're up by 22. And Troy, we were actually kind of joking about this, or just talking about this in the pregame before we got started here on the air, was what do you do when you're at a 22-point lead? It's pretty substantial. You don't want to take the brakes off. You don't want to tell your kids that, hey, stop playing hard. But at the same time, when you're North Vermillion, you got to make the stops, and that's a good finish right there. He's having a good second quarter.
He is. Cooper Simmons Little after the turnover. And you're right, when you have players come in that are trying to earn playing time, the last thing you're going to tell them is, yeah, you still stay within the system or whatever you're doing, but you got to let them play. By the way, Atticus Blank coming out of the ball game. He picked up his second. Each team now with 4. And here is Simmons Little at the line once again, and he misses. But an offensive rebound, they'll get another shot at it. Ryan Kowal in the ball game. To take that back, looked like it might have been 11 Pollard who got the offensive rebound. They're going to go ahead and play for 1.
Yeah, not a lot of movement right now from Traders Point. You mentioned it, Troy. They're just playing for the last shot here.
Tell you what, if Dowers keeps chasing like that, he may not make it to the end of the game either.
Right. They're making number 11 work.
He's going sideline to sideline. Start to make their move about now. They're hiding Westerfield on that baseline. Here's a shot on the way, in and out. The tip out is Kowal can't get it to go, and at the buzzer it will not fall, and it's Traders. 20 in the first, they score 20 in the second, and they go into the locker room with the lead at 40-16. As we said a little bit ago, John, really not a big surprise if you just joined us. Jerome White is not playing for North Vermillion. They haven't been really able to pick up the scoring slack at 14 points per game, but they really needed him in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, and what you're seeing, Troy, is you mentioned the big bodies, and that's what Cody Wright really liked to emphasize with this team was his size and the height that they have, but those two big boys are just having a lot, just the conditioning. You know, they're playing a lot of minutes. They don't have the depth that the Knights have right now, so the substitutions are wearing them out, and just a lot of work from the outside. It's outside shots, transition points, not able to get anything consistently.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Your halftime score, Traders Point 40, North Vermillion 16.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake. Yeah.
It's a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got a counter right here. Isn't this where you place the orders?
We sell trophies, we sell plaques, we do embroidery. No food.
You got carry out?
Unlike the internet, everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
You know, Jim, I'll be back tomorrow to pick it all up.
We'll wait for you.
Don't wait long.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the expressed written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Here's your halftime score. As we said, not a big surprise at this stage, especially without Jerome White, the leading scorer for North Vermillion, in the lineup. So now you're thinking about the second half, John, and I've been on the other end of these scores. I wasn't on the good end very often, but I've been on the bad end. You go into the locker room, you try to convince your team you still have an opportunity to win this game, because that's really the message, but you're really going to have to take this one possession at a time, and then you need a bunch of stops. So it really comes down to what you can do defensively.
And that's what Coach Cody Wright has to tell his team, is that you're not going to get it all back. There's no 24-point bucket out there. So you just got to take it one possession at a time, just like you said, Troy. But the key here, it's North Vermillion. They've had looks. I mean, they're not really taking contested threes. There's not a lot of hands in their face. They're moving that zone around because that's what Traders Point is in. Yeah. So they're able to get some looks. They're just not hitting them. We talked about that on the onset of the game, is that Coach Cody Wright said that there are a few possessions here and there that they could easily be 3-1. And then you mentioned that I guess we could all say that at some point, whether we lose by 50 or 5. But it's it's the defensive end now.
Yeah.
Is Traders Point has been shooting very well in this contest, both from 3. They're moving without the ball, getting a lot of easy looks at the rim, so that's helping them out there. And it's really just taking advantage of the lack of depth that the Falcons have for North Vermillion. So Traders Point needs to continue to push. They need to continue moving the basketball, running up and down the court, take advantage of that lack of depth of the Falcons. And as you mentioned, the Falcons need to start putting some defensive will against these Knights.
By the way, I just saw Owen Edwards shoot a 3, so I'm thinking if I'm drawing something up as the coach is doing right there, can I set him up for a few more threes, or would you advise that? He looked pretty good to me.
Hey, whatever you can take at this point. I mean, if the big man can sink down the triple,
go for it.
Go, might as well. Nothing to lose at this point.
Now, as a sophomore, he may not do it himself, but if you give him some encouragement, maybe he'll give it a shot.
Well, did you see his 3-point percentage?
No.
He's shooting 43% out there.
Let's do it.
Doesn't take a lot of them, but when he shoots it, he does it pretty well.
Set a couple of screens, get him open. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Third period is underway. North Vermillion basketball to begin the quarter. I tell you what, there he is right there, and he just barely missed that one.
It looked good. They set that play up right for him, right out of the break.
So Owens, what a nice pass to Westerfield. I believe that was Cooper Simmons-Little.
That was a great no-look pass. Cooper Simmons, that's actually his second touch pass. Just got it right behind his back. Westerfield on the baseline, able to put it in for 2.
Well, you better know he's there, huh? I mean, you practiced that. He probably knew if that defense came over, he was going to be able to get it. Shot inside. Big guy gets the rebound, and Owen Edwards started outside, went back inside.
There's really no defense against that size, and Traders Point doesn't have it. And the big man just stayed with it and able to put it up for 2.
Now, usually you tell him you want to move him off the block, but I don't think they can move him off the block, as that'll be a travel number 5 in the turnover department for Traders Point.
Yeah, Busick just kind of got caught in no man's land there and had nowhere to go with it for the travel.
Yeah, if you can show me anybody from Traders Point that can move those 2 guys off the block, let me know if you see it, okay? I'm not sure that's going to happen. I know Westerfield is a little bulkier than most, but he's not big as those guys.
No, both Blank and Edwards outweigh him probably by about 20, 30 pounds.
Here's a shot straight away, missed. One and done there for North Vermillion. Here comes Busick. Westerfield looks opposite. And then they throw it away. Probably a time their justice should have went in and shot the ball.
He had it there. But that play to Westerfield has worked all ball game, so I understand what he was thinking there. But you're right, Troy, that Justice probably could have finished that off on his own.
I guess if I were Westerfield, maybe, I know he's probably got pretty decent hands, but I think he was thinking too that maybe Justice would shoot the basketball right there. 6 turnovers now by Traders Point. Good look at Blanks. The kick out here is the 3 on the way. No good by Dowers. We'll head the other way. Justice got off to a fast start. That shot's going to be missed from the left side. Coming up empty there was T.J. Robinson, and a turnover. That's 8 now for North Vermillion.
And that's really one thing you don't want to see is that Blank had a good rebound there, but you don't want your big man bringing up the ball like that.
Cooper Simmons Little able to find an open man on the right side. A miss, but an offensive rebound put back good. And tell you what, Simmons Little passed it off, went back, got the offensive rebound.
He's just kind of everywhere. No one's really getting a body on him. He's pretty big too. He doesn't have the height. I mean, he has the height. He doesn't really have the weight behind him, but pretty big at 6'2".
Shot in the corner from 3 is missed as Noah Scott can't get it to go.
And here's one thing I'm noticing, Troy. When Traders Point, when they get the rebounds, it's 2-3 guys around the ball. You really don't. There's maybe one guy for the Falcons with those 2 big bodies out there. You'd probably think more would be crashing, but it's a lot more effort from the Knights here on the rebounding side, both defensively and offensively.
Simmons Little now with 11. Here's a shot from the right wing, no good, and there he is again. I think he's got a little hair on the chin too there. John, he's looking pretty good.
He may have had the Sharpie out earlier.
We'll take a timeout, 46-18 Traders.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. It's a new spot for breakfast or lunch, open Wednesday through Sunday. Try their classic breakfast and their sweet baked goods. They're located in Lawrence. Coach recommends the Sloppy Joes with extra pickles. I know you do too, Joe.
Oh, I'm telling you, Coach, he treats that menu like Lay's potato chip. Just can't order one. And with those extra pickles.
There is Cooper Simmons Little once again. By the way, Tam's located at 6427 Oaklandon Road. I would imagine that Simmons Little might have heard that promo too, and that inspired him, the extra pickles.
He's had himself a whale of a game in the second quarter. It's very quiet in the first quarter, but he's come on tremendously in these past 2 quarters.
Lead down 30. Here's a 3. That's off the mark. The tip out. Tryon unable to get it to go. Another miss. Offensive rebound put back good. That is going to be Noah Scott.
Yeah, good box out from Noah Scott. Another big body, 6'2". What you're seeing at Troy is that it's really everything from the outside, and if it's lucky to get a rebound, it's just because it's coming hard off the back of the rim and trickling out.
Well, you see right here, Traders got a little shorter lineup than their. So they don't have a big lineup most of the time, but they went a little smaller here, almost a 4-guard system. And you'll see Simmons Little flash to that high post. He's not really a post guy. Taking a long time on the possession as we're coming up on 3. And a turnover as Westerfield can't hold on to it.
Well, it was the length of the Falcons that bothered that possession. Couldn't get anything down in the post.
That was blocked by Simmons Little, and the shot in the corner by Scott.
Matthew Dawson is back in for the Falcons. Also, number 5 coming down the way, Landon Wilson.
A couple of changes into the lineup. Landon Weish is back in. With a 2:48 to go. Off the inbound, 3 in the corner. Good. There is Dowers.
Dowers, he's having a solid game.
It's his second 3. He has 8. And we saw this Traders Point team, as you mentioned, in the last possession struggle getting a look. This one in the corner's a 3-pointer off the mark. Pollard couldn't get it to go. Back the other way. Layup good, and there's Dowers again.
That was a good take. Just able to split the defense right there. Have a little English with the right hand off the glass.
We're going to see, as Cooper Simmons Little gets another bucket, we're going to see Amari Justice come back into the lineup. He has 15 points, 8 here in the third. Speaking of Simmons Little, averaging 12 per game, lead at 25. And they covered up him quickly. Dowers hit the last couple of shots. That's 9 turnovers. Nice jump stop in the lane. Bucket good by T.J. Robinson. He's averaging 12, but I think it's his first 2.
Yeah, I haven't called his name a lot, but that's got to be so frustrating as a coach, Troy, is that you have that small lineup out there, and then one of the smallest guys on the court is able to just make his way to the glass for an easy layup.
So 3 in the corner. That'll be missed. Tryon can't get it to go. They're one and done. Back the other way. Cooper Simmons Little got bumped as he battles for the offensive rebound, gets another possession.
And you can see the fatigue just starting to really set in here for the Falcons. Not leaving their feet, just getting their hands up, but not able to really get anything elevated.
There's that 3 by Dowers. So we'll see Barna come into the lineup, number 25. Of course, that was another nice run by Dowers. Boy, another turnover. That'll be number 8 now for Traders Point. And a whistle. I think they didn't start the clock. One thing officials will always point out when the clock isn't running, the hourly wage goes up. Well, goes down, actually, when that clock doesn't start.
Well, the clock started and nobody touched the ball, so that's I'm surprised they didn't see that. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
That's a different rule there. Yeah, it was running now. Here's a 3 straight away missed. Rebound Simmons Little.
I guess we're starting to play NBA 2K23 rules now.
Yeah, it's funny. They didn't see that one.
No. That took off a lot more time on the clock.
Well, as I was always told, that's why you play some at home and some on the road. Baseline shot, no. Another offensive rebound and the putback by Westerfield.
Westerfield just having a good game around the rim, but that was kept alive by Simmons Little.
Down to the last possession here, but a foul will be called, and that'll go against Colton Pollard. That's the first foul of the entire quarter. Wow.
And that's, as minute as that might seem, that's actually a really good teaching moment right there, because it's discipline.
Yeah.
You know, playing defense, shuffling the feet, not reaching, doing all those kinds of things. So that's a positive that both of these teams can take from that third quarter.
54-25 will head to the fourth.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Jack's Donuts. They have great donuts made and served fresh every day. Great tasting coffee. They're located at 9105 East 56th Street, or go to a Jack's in your neighborhood. Jack's Donuts, the official donut of IndianaSRN. We're still waiting for that delivery, though.
I've watched the NFL, NBA, MLS, Major League Baseball for a long time. Never have I had anybody been sponsored by a donut.
You got that right. And wait till they bring them.
Oh, they're to die for.
Yeah. We will eat them while we're doing the game. Nice drive, missing, and Justice the putback. No, he thought he got fouled. No whistle. By the way, the mercy rule is at 35. We are not quite there yet. See, that defensive intensity might be picking up a little bit here for Traders Point.
I think Coach Busick said, let's try to see if we can get to that 35 on his standpoint. But right now, it's really a mental game for the Falcons. Let's not let it get to that point. Let's just play some solid basketball in this fourth quarter.
10th turnover. Alley-oop intended there for Amari Justice. He just waited for it to come back down, lays it in.
That was good patience. Just got him a bird.
Justice, his first 2 points of the second half. Playing a little 3-2 zone right here. They're going to flatten that zone out at the top. That's causing a little bit of problems here for North Vermillion.
Yeah, much smaller lineup here for the Falcons. Edwards and Blank on the bench.
See, I like this changeup, though. I mean, when you play that three-man front like that and play a little 3-2 zone, you don't see that very often. And right now, the Falcons just aren't really sure what to do.
Yeah, and you can see it, Troy. No one's moving on the baseline. That was knocked away.
Wow.
He's looking at his hand there, and that was just he just missed it.
So he was probably thinking maybe flushing it at the other end, but I don't know. Got a foul in. Nope, that's going to be a travel. So that'll be the 9th turnover. That looked like one of my layups.
Well, whatever is said on either bench during the third quarter, it hasn't looked like the prettiest fourth quarter start off for either team right now. So everybody needs to settle down. Again, try just maintain playing good basketball. That's the effort right here. You're too big of a deficit to crawl back into this one, but you just want to play solid hoops.
Turn to the baseline. Dower is able to get it in.
It's good footwork.
Dower is now 12 points. Here's a wide open three the other way. Nothing but net for Busick.
Busick right around 40%. Shooting threes.
He's in double figures. Cooper Simmons Little is in double figures. Justice in double figures. And so is Westerfield. So another game which they have excellent balanced scoring. I'm not sure how he got that shot up, and the putback good by Dawson. Off the miss by Weish. Headed back the other way, and of course wide open there.
Yeah, Busick had to fill some pretty big shoes for this Knights team. There's Tobias Grant, who was their point guard last year, standout for the Knights, and Busick is Coach Sean Busick's son, but those are some big shoes to fill, and he's done admirable so far this year.
The three-point play completed. It was Cooper Simmons-Little who picked up the foul, and that three is missed by Busick, and it will go out of bounds and will stay here.
Westerfield with a good box out. So he's got the big lineup back in there with the Edwards and Blank.
I would love to ask Atticus' parents, why did you name him Atticus? There's a three at the top missed. It's not a general name that you hear very much, but if I would have heard that, I would have named my son that. Atticus Darengowski. You don't think he would have caught some flack on that one, do you? Turnover.
Just wondering how you put that on the football jersey.
Very carefully with small
letters. A lot
letters.
of stitching in there.
Well, that shot was short. Might have been partially blocked, but Busick lays it in.
Busick, good awareness there.
There's another turnover. Boy, Justice giving it up. What hustle there on the floor was Robinson.
And you do like to see that, Troy. Even with 4:50 left in the game, you're up by 31. Still diving on the floor.
Shot in the lane by Dowers. Dowers putting a solid night together. Lead back to 29. I mean, look at this Traders Point team again with 4 guys in double figures, and yet T.J. Robinson has only 2, and that's going to put Westerfield at the line.
Westerfield's had himself a really good game, doing a lot of his damage without the ball, not really driving to the lane and dribble drives, anything like that. He's just finding open space, and his teammates are able to find him for easy looks at the rim. Looks like we're going with a line change here.
Yep. Complete hockey change, huh? All kinds of new guys coming in. Get them as we go here. It looks like Kowal is in the ball game. Yeah, they put the free throw there on the wrong team, but if they won't pay attention to the time, I doubt they'll care too much about that either. Until somebody goes back and says, what happened to my point? Second free throw good. He is done. Bartles is in. Bartles, a junior, averaging 0.3 points per game. And they did fix it on the scoreboard, so it's back to a 31-point lead. So this is an opportunity now for players that haven't got much playing time. Will get a chance to play. Dearman is back in.
Bartles a big body out there at 6'4". You'd wonder why he doesn't play as much. Well, because he plays the old 3-bag for baseball for old Brendan Saget during the spring. Big first baseman.
So Traders Point out on the run.
And Troy, you had mentioned it's a perfect opportunity for the guys to come off the bench, start getting some quality minutes. You still got a lot of time. 4 minutes, a long time in high school basketball. See what you can do. Play hard.
Ooh, that one just missed by Pollard.
And the reason you're not seeing the substitutions on the Falcon side is because they don't have any.
That's right.
Not a lot of guys to switch in and out.
Give credit to those big guys. They've been playing a lot here tonight. There's a three from the top, no good.
Got that from Westfield.
Had a different zip code on it. Dearman able to get the rebound at the other end for Traders Point. Kowal, as we mentioned, he's only a sophomore, and there's a good look at Dearman, another sophomore. See, I would have pulled the plug. I would have pulled that one by Pollard. If I'm going to get in, you might as well shoot it.
And that's the one thing, and you can see it here. This is the youth right here. This is inexperience. A lot of ball movement. I think these kids are afraid to shoot. They want to get that bucket. They want to put it in the box score, show it, go into school on Monday saying, hey, I put one in. But they just don't get that many opportunities, so they want to be protective of it. Crisp, clean passes. And I think Coach Busick is okay with that.
You know, you probably have met most of the staff here on IndianaSRN, and they were all called the black hole when they played because it went to them and it never came out because you never saw it again, some of these guys we have on this staff.
It doesn't surprise us. It seems like we had a bunch of shooters on this team.
Well, they claimed it anyway. Shooting and making
I love to see the combined shooting percentage from the IndianaSRN bunch.
Well, I can tell you that old fisherman story, you know, how it gets bigger every year, and by the time you're about 65,
right.
That fish was like 8 feet long.
You just want to dig up those assist numbers, see how low that was.
That's right. So Traders Point still the 31-point lead, 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's been a drought on both ends for baskets, and that's a great take.
Kowal, the sophomore, he'll go to the line.
Smallest guy on the team is able to get to the lane.
Now they listed him at 5'8".
Yeah. Take some contact right there, able to float it up for two. Chance for a three-point play. He's happy about that.
There you go. So lead at 34.
So that's going to help everything for his percent. He was shooting 67%. Not a lot of baskets, but that was his first free throw, so he'll be 100%.
And that'll be a turnover for North Vermillion. I think we need to ask Kowal if he's really 5'8". There he is, right in front. Do you think he's 5'8"?
That's what the media guy says.
Put John on the spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 5'6", maybe.
I'll say maybe in the 70s with the platform boots. You never know. Maybe Kiss is out there. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, wearing the custom Nikes. Extra inches on the heels there.
It'll be a turnover back the other way.
Yeah, because he just walked right by Nick Bartles, and that was much bigger than 6'4" against 5'8" right there. Wow.
That's okay. We still like people of all sizes, no matter what. Plus, he was nice in finishing that, getting that three-point play, too. So, here's a three on the way, no good. Tom Cruise stands on a milk crate in these movies? I didn't know that. We learn something every time we do a game. That three's no good. We got a foul in the backcourt against Nick Bartles.
Nick Bartles with a foul. That's his first, team fourth.
So we are down to 65 seconds remaining. Tom Cruise is 5'7".
The man does his own stunts, and it really seems that man is over 100 years old. He's been acting for so long, and I think there's about 37 Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
18 Top Guns. It's true that low center of gravity messes up on a stunt. He's right at the ground, can't get hurt.
So that's how he gets in those jets so easily, huh? Here's a shot from the corner, missed. Offensive rebound, reverse layup, good by Weish.
Still playing hard. You like to see that offensive rebound, be able to up and under.
Shot's going to be missed down low. You know, the one thing you'll always get on an SRN broadcast, you get basketball, you'll get trivia, you'll get all kinds of good stuff because we're culturally rich.
Well, you speaking of culturally rich, want to make sure that if you're in the Christmas spirit, which we should be around this time, 24/7 are your favorite Christmas tunes.
Up until, I believe, January the 1st or 2nd or something like that. So they'll even go into next year on IndianaSRN. We'll also run down some of the games. That's an over and back. North Vermillion unofficially 14 turnovers. There is a girls game at noon tomorrow. Covenant Christian, Greenwood Christian. I'll be here for that one. Then, of course, tomorrow night, 7:30, Traders Point, Covenant Christian. part of our 2 games on a Saturday and continued coverage of high school basketball, over 150 games throughout the entire season. And that is it. Traders Point now 4-0 on the season with a win here tonight. North Vermillion falling to 0-5. And John, your final thoughts on this one here this evening?
I think we kind of anticipated how this was going to go. It's just a short staff that the Falcons had. You know, the loss of Jerome White, that really hurt them at the onset. Not only did you lose your leading scorer, you lost a leader on the court. So that's always going to be tough. But they played hard. That's the one thing you got to give them. They played as hard for what they had on the court each time. And for the Knights, they look good. Yeah. In the fourth quarter, I think this kind of got you going to the bench. You're not going to get a lot of guys on the court that played a lot of minutes, but those first 3 quarters, they played sound basketball. In that third quarter, they only had 1 foul. So playing disciplined basketball, able to hit some shots early, extend that lead. And Traders Point really had a good game, moving now to 4-0 on the season.
4 guys in double figures, though, led by Cooper Simmons, Little, Amari Justice, each with 15, Westerfield 14, Busick 12, and Dowers led the way for North Vermillion with 14. John, good to see you again, sir, as always.
You too, Troy.
Thank you for being with us. Traders Point wins it 66-34. Thanks to the entire staff for joining us here on Indiana SRN.